You know, I do think it's funny that so many people of my generation don't seem to click that Nicki Minaj was massively important to us as young black girls over the past 10 years. And whilst women from like the 90s, yes, of course, they've influenced the trajectory of black femme fashion, and a lot of what we're seeing now is a renaissance. What I'm saying is that when Nicki was serving that, she was serving us the renaissance. So that's why whenever I see, you know, black fashion YouTubers or culture YouTubers talking about like BBL fashion or Insta baddie aesthetic, I never see them mention Nicki. I never see them mention Nicki, which is crazy to me, because to not acknowledge Nicki Minaj is strange considering how much influence and impact she has had on black femme culture on social media and black femme fashion and beauty. You know, it's just abundantly clear. You go on Instagram, the girls look like Nicki Minaj. After the successful series we ran on this channel for 2 years, so No Ghostwriter is your #1 spot for high quality hip hop conversation. We are shedding important light on black women in hip hop, queer people in hip hop, and we are focusing on lyricism. There is no clout chasing, just the respect for writing and rapping bars. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, make sure that you click the link in our description and sign up to our mailing list. We are also hosting an event this July. It is going to be a fun party for all of the barbs in London for Wireless to see the Queen, who is in the UK, just for one day. So make sure that you check out noghostwriter.com, sign up to our mailing list, check out our content and events. And if you are interested in being a blogger for No Ghostwriter, if you want to talk about hip hop culture, you want to cover news and stories and review new music releases, then please use the link in my description to sign up to our writers group and submit us some examples of your writing. And we look forward to receiving your application and hopefully having you on our team. As usual, you guys, make sure you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe. It is very important that you help me out. It is you and me versus the algorithm. And we want to make sure that as many barbs and people interested in Nicki Minaj and black women in hip hop and fashion and stuff, they see this video. So make sure you comment so all of them can head over here and know what's good. Okay, so I wanted to have this conversation because I really, really love hair and beauty and fashion, as you guys can probably tell. And those of you who follow me on Instagram and TikTok see I'm always posting my outfits and all my little looks and stuff. So I love fashion and beauty. And when it comes to who I'm inspired by, I'm very clear about this. I'm inspired by classic 90s and noughties black beauty and Nicki's 2014 PinkPrint era. Now, I grew up in hair salons. My mum was a hairdresser when I was younger. And just seeing these magazines, you know, these beautiful women on the front with these like beautiful hairstyles, even if they were like giving glam, it was soft glam. I really loved that era. And because I was so young when Nicki first came out, you know, I was like 12, 13 when I discovered her. I wasn't really like dressing like her or like taking cues from her until I was in university. And when I was in university, I, you know, saw Nicki come out with her new look. Like, she was stripped black, she was natural, hair was natural, face was just giving natural beauty face. I ate it up. As you can see, I'm still giving PinkPrint ponytail. I still give PinkPrint eyeliner. Let me zoom in. Yep, always keep this eyeliner on deck. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. Every time I'd go to the club, I would be channeling Nicki. Like, I'll try and find some of my old club outfits, but girl, I was blessing Minaj like when I went out to the club. As time has gone on, I've seen more and more how people are channeling you know, that look that Nicki gave, and I just wanted to talk about it. So indulge me as I talk about Nicki Minaj's influence as a fashion icon, Audrey Hepburn, and make sure that you leave a comment, like this video, and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about today, and make sure that you leave your comments and what you think about Nicki being influential as a fashion icon. So in 2014, Nicki released her 4th album, The PinkPrint. And with it, she also debuted a dramatically more natural and soft glam look. And that contrasted against the more camp harajuku Barbie fashion that she had been giving for the previous 3-4 years following her mainstream debut. She, in this time, sent Roman away to boarding school, and she reintroduced the world to the other black Barbies. So she first gave us a taste on her pre-mainstream mixtape releases, where she contrasted feminine pink backgrounds, outfits, and hair with like guns and bikes and references to hard DRUGS's. Her switch up in style in this era had the effect of unapologetically highlighting Nicki's hyper femininity and ushering, in my opinion, this ushered in the modern iteration of the black Barbie aesthetic, which pretty much now completely dominates the female rap landscape. All of them want to look like a doll, sound like a doll, and which doll are they imitating? I've spoken a lot about aesthetic in female rap, especially Nicki's aesthetic, in previous videos on the channel. So those are videos such as whether men are always going to control female rappers. Check out my specific segment I did in that video about the effect of Nicki's camp era and the feminist statement behind that. I also talk about how female rap is not an aesthetic, and I also talk about why female rappers follow the Nicki Minaj cheat code, which also goes into body aesthetic as well as like hair and makeup and stuff like that. This video continues that conversation by just talking about how Nicki's fashion makeover in 2014 has basically influenced the trajectory of black femme fashion ever since. Black women in hip hop are fashion icons, period. So black women have always been trendsetters, influencing trends in fashion and makeup. Hip hop culture has amplified this, and artists like Lil Kim, Foxy Brown, Trina have paved the way for being able to blend, essentially being a hip hop artist with women's fashion and being a fashion model. And specifically it was their highly feminine style, and the significance of that is that it didn't follow the trend in that era of doing, you know, like baggy, oversized, masculine looks. I talk about this in my video on whether men are always going to control female rap, where I talk about Debrat and Clover Hope's comments in her History of Women in Hip Hop, The Motherlode, where she talks about the fact that after Lil Kim, even Debrat, who was giving, you know, mask androgynous fashion, switched up to a more sexy style. So you can thank Lil Kim and Foxy Brown especially for giving that hyper feminine look to a female rapper in that period of time. So they embrace short skirts, colorful hair, tight dresses, colorful makeup to create this very, very, very hyper feminine black Barbie aesthetic that came with raw and rugged rap aggression. So these women influenced millions of black girls and women who wanted to look and dress like their rap idols, and the hypersexual female rapper became the most popularized trope for women in hip hop. Now for Nicki Minaj, a beautiful Trini woman from Queens who wanted to rap on the level of other East Coast rap legends, she was in a very difficult position. Now, I discussed this again in my video on whether men will always control female rap, but essentially, the hypersexual female rapper was, and kind of still is, looked down upon and questioned lyrically by the culture. You know, a lot of people said in the same breath, you can't be serious as a rapper if you are giving sexual all the time, and they still say that. So by the time of Nicki's debut in 2007, 2009, she made an attempt to be taken seriously about her music. And the way that she did that was desexualizing herself with that camp fashion, that harajuku Barbie fashion, which sold the drama and theatrics and character of her as an artist, but it took attention where possible away from her very obvious beauty and desirability. So that continued for pretty much the first 3-4 years of her career until she stunned the world with this new, clean, stripped back look in 2014. And in my opinion, Nicki debuting this natural look for the PinkPrint album was a radical shift in beauty standards for black women, because over the course of 2014 to 17, Nicki expanded upon this hyper-feminine look, making it more and more sexual and moving from the sort of natural beauty in the PinkPrint era into the modern Naomi Campbell looks with inches to her ankles, latex outfits, and just serving sex and money. Now, I actually discussed this era on Twitter the other day, and I talked about how Nicki combined classic black beauty references from Naomi, from Foxy, from Kim, with Y2K video vixens and like modern fashion. And I thought, you know what? Let me get the person I was talking to come talk to you guys actually about Nicki's fashion eras and how significant they are. Okay, let's switch to Nathan's channel. Let me find, where's the button? Where is the button to switch to his channel? There it is.
Hello everybody from the No Ghostwriter community, and hello to all the fellow Barbs as well. It's me, Nathy, and I will be going through how much Nicki Minaj has been able to convey each album's theme through her fashion. Let's break it down. Why did I just do that? For her mixtapes, Nicki Minaj was basically dressed down, wearing a lot of outfits that would be associated with the McBling style, and she wore basically a feminized version of what the male rappers wore, to show them that she can do what they do too, but with her own spin. For the Pink Friday era, Nicki Minaj's main inspo was harajuku. I mean, the harajuku Barbie. She wore a lot of harajuku and futuristic types of clothing, reminiscent of what you would see in The Fifth Element. Pink Friday was pop, fun, crazy, and that was basically what her fashion was as well. For the Roman Reloaded era, Nicki wore basically what she wore in Pink Friday, but more polished and more sexy. Nicki Minaj no longer restricts herself from talking about sex, so she matches that ideal with a more risque look. She also starts incorporating streetwear elements in her wardrobe as well. For the Roman Reloaded re-up era, this was the farewell for Nicki, the pop star, and the welcome to Nicki, the rapper. She now took on a more natural 2013 streetwear look. She was basically the mold for IG baddies. Nicki also started rocking dark root hair, which can signify how Nicki is slowly but surely coming to frame, and she did. In the PinkPrint era, Nicki fully took on a more natural look with the help of her new stylist, Rushka. Her style now became more chic, clean, and elegant, while still keeping streetwear influences throughout. Black dresses were her favorite around this time. She now had a more high fashion look compared to her other eras. As the PinkPrint was a very personal album, and she started shredding her Nicki Popstar image, she wanted people to see Onika, not Nicki. For the No Frauds era, Nicki hired the new stylist, Maher, and they completely created magic. Nicki took on a sharp, contemporary, clean, and streamlined fashion sense, and a more editorial look. This is my absolute favorite style era from her. For the Queen era, Nicki took on a lot of 2017 cues, but with more variety in her looks. She sometimes dressed in a punk, BDSM bondage look as Chun-Li, playing as the bad guy, or she wore more regal, gold, royalty look, or a callback to her Roman Reloaded days, but more sexier and modern. She also took on a more seductress type of aura, and her clothes reflected this. This variety in looks gave us a diverse, yet some might argue incohesive look for the era. And now we move on to modern day Nicki. Nicki nowadays has become a chameleon in her fashion sense, mixing a lot of her ideals in the past eras and making it work for the moment. I'm sure as she starts promoting NM5, she will come back with a much more cohesive new look, with the help of her old stylist, Rushka. And that's just it. If you guys want a more comprehensive dive into this, go to my channel and check my video out. Anyways, back to Miss Blessing.
Thank you, Nathie, for that wonderful explanation, and make sure you guys go check out his video on Nicki's fashion eras. So the PinkPrint era is not an isolated incident. Throughout her career, Nicki's fashion choices have corresponded to different moments in her career and in her life. And that's why it's never just a look with Nicki. It's never just an outfit. There's always something behind it, especially when she's rolling out an era. So in my opinion, Nicki reintroduced hyper-femininity into hip hop and made it okay for Black women to embrace their curves and sexuality in a very overt way. So the Black Barbie has always been a very particular type of femme. She's equally as dominant as she is feminine. And you know, there's that Nicki bar where she says, inside of every bad bitch, there's a sweet girly girl. So, you know, the Black Barbie is just as hard as she is soft. That's what makes her so unique and what makes her such a desirable, you know, character for Black women to emulate in their fashion style, because when you're dressed like a Black Barbie, everybody knows what that message is. You're powerful and you're in control. The Black Barbie is unapologetic about using her beauty and body to get what she wants. And through flaunting that Black Barbie aesthetic and lifestyle on Instagram, Nicki inspired an entire generation to embrace being sexy on the internet in a brand new way, and birthed a new influencer, the IG model or the IG baddie, whose entire career was essentially based upon perpetuating a lifestyle that Nicki Minaj glamorized through her image and lyrics. So during this era, the girls that look like Nicki, put Barbie or doll in their bio, blew up. You know, every girl wanted to look like Nicki. You know, they all wanted to have the hair, clothes, and body befitting of a Black Barbie. And, you know, like Nicki says, I put these bitches on to these good lace friends. Now, I got all these wanna be Barbie dolls, Barbie dream house, pink and purple marble walls, pull up in that Barbie Rari, finna bury y'all, she threw her and... So all of this filtered from social media, from Nicki into the consumers. And these consumers blew up brands that allowed them to purchase into the Black Barbie aesthetic. So websites like AliExpress blew up in popularity because people wanted to buy their bundles, their inches, long inches. You know, they all wanted to have the same slick middle part straight down the middle like Nicki was doing. You know, you had Fashion Nova, places offering, you know, cheap and affordable BBL fashion, which we talk a lot about being a massive issue right now. And if you check out my video on why it's so hard to find clothes for big boobs, I talk about BBL fashion in there. So an entire industry was created out of BBLs and that plastic surgery treatment that you can get if you want to have a posterior like Nicki Minaj. And, you know, IG hairstylists, MUAs, boutiques, everything that could get you looking like a Black Barbie. And that's also the reason why Nicki's brands and endorsements did well during this era as well. So as far as hip hop culture itself goes, during this era, Nicki made a lot of strides with songs like Anaconda, which pushed Black women's bodies to the front of the conversation and forced the world to ask itself why it supported things like Victoria's Secret and white women on the cover of men's magazines, but looked down upon a Black woman appearing on her cover art with her bare bum bum out, like she did for Anaconda. And she did this iconic post on Instagram where she did side-by-side comparison of her cover art and I think a men's magazine cover, and she said acceptable, unacceptable, why, what's the difference? The women on the other cover were white. And she was essentially challenging beauty standards around how women can embrace their sexuality and nudity in mainstream culture and how Black women are held up to a different standard. Now, this conversation was followed up and continued with WAP, the song that collaboration between Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and it received the acclaim that it was able to receive because of Nicki's impact with Anaconda. And that's what I mean when I say Nicki continues to inspire black femme fashion, because the girls want to have hair down to their ass shaking their thing because of Nicki with hair down to her ass shaking her thing. You know, that is their inspiration, and it filters into more than just the videos and into the fashion, like I said. So I guess my final point overall is that a lot of people are ignorant about the fact that Nicki Minaj has influenced them. And I think that a lot of people struggle with understanding that Nicki Minaj is who they are channeling when they are on Instagram posting this and that about being a Barbie doll or a black Barbie, and, you know, giving the Nicki look. In fact, a friend of mine came up with the term Nicki face. You know, the girls on Instagram that can give Nicki face do well. And if you look at the female rappers who are currently out right now, you know, they all look like Nicki. This is the look, the black Barbie look that Nicki was sporting between 2014 and 17 is the dominant look for black women in mainstream culture. Even outside of hip hop, R&B artists like, you know, Chloe Bailey, Summer Walker, they're serving similar visuals and hyper aggressive femininity in their music and visuals as female rappers are doing. You know, and female rappers, of course, they flock to this look, like I've said, and have had to have Nicki remind them more than once that the long inches, the fashion, the latex fashions, and the Birkins are all inspired by her mother. You know, I do think it's funny that so many people of my generation don't seem to click that Nicki Minaj was massively important to us as young black girls over the past 10 years. And whilst women from like the 90s, yes, of course, they've influenced the trajectory of black femme fashion, and a lot of what we're seeing now is a renaissance. What I'm saying is that when Nicki was serving that, she was serving us the renaissance. So that's why whenever I see, you know, black fashion YouTubers or culture YouTubers talking about like BBL fashion or Insta baddie aesthetic, I never see them mention Nicki. I never see them mention Nicki, which is crazy to me, because to not acknowledge Nicki Minaj is strange considering how much influence and impact she has had on black femme culture on social media and black femme fashion and beauty. You know, it's just abundantly clear. You go on Instagram, the girls look like Nicki Minaj. You know, Nicki has done a lot to influence black fashion trends and culture, and you know, I think that she's done far more that we need to recognize and give her flowers for, because she's still here. So in conclusion, there is a lot to thank Nicki for in modern black beauty and fashion trends. Not all of it is good, as she acknowledged in her interview with Joe Budden, and she said that she wanted people to be free to be themselves and not necessarily be her. But regardless of all of that, the black Barbie aesthetic is here to stay. Nicki is still here for us to give our flowers to. So let's start acknowledging the source of our influences a little bit more. What do you think about Nicki's fashion era for the PinkPrint era? Do you think that it had this big impact on black femme fashion and beauty? I would love to know. Please leave your comments below. And thank you to Nathy for his cameo in my video. Check out his video on Nicki's fashion eras on his channel and see if you can spot me in there. Make sure that you like this video, leave a comment and subscribe. Like I said, you guys, it's me and you versus the algorithm, so let's work together, baby. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.